Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinglife.com. You're joining me on board good old Narrowboat Tilly, and we're about to dive into a good 10 minutes plus of all sorts of scenery and footage as we have the September Narrowboat Life blog update. Right, let's go boating. As usual, there's been some fantastic times on board, so I'm sure that this shot alone can sum up how fantastic some of the weather we've had recently has been. There have also been some very cold nights coming in with these beautiful warm days, and there's certainly been a few unexpected showers, which we'll get to a little clip later on of me clothes drying over the fire, but just being able to enjoy the good weather at least, it has been absolutely brilliant. And as some of you know already from my previous videos, I spent a bit of time around the Whitchurch area and out in the real middle of nowhere around Wixall, really rural places. And when I was heading down into Whitchurch, over the last few days before I arrived there, I just moved a short distance each day so I could cram in a load of different little mooring places, and well, places like you're seeing on the screen now and over the next couple of minutes. It's been great to just be able to take me time, because I did have 19 days off work, which has certainly been very useful for just enjoying a nice calm time afloat. And that let me, as I say, moor up in a lot of different little places, like one night here, 2 nights there, 1 night here. You can see there's a fisherman in front of the boat who actually caught a fish while I was filming through the window, so I thought that was amazing timing. And yeah, again, a place like this, just these little mooring places that I managed to move and just spend a night or 2 there, it's been absolutely fantastic. And of course, by moving down the canal like that in those short, sharp bursts, I've been able to put myself in a lot of different positions to head out up walking into the fields along towpaths, and obviously getting out in the kayak and actually boating. So I've really enjoyed it thoroughly over September, and the mixture of weather, apart from the rain, it's been fantastic. It's been quite nice having the fire going in the evening and getting back to that, yes, I remember just how cosy it really can be. And as you see here, this is my little trick. Because Tilly's only 30 foot, I can spin her around in the canal where it's wide enough. And that obviously means I don't have to boat up sometimes literally miles to the turning point. So I had a nice 4-hour boat trip, I don't know, about sort of mid-September, maybe the second half of September. And as you can see, it was the usual thing, 4 hours. I only managed to travel 10 miles in that time. But man, when you're travelling through places like this, what more could you possibly want? And amazingly, I moored up at Colmere, and my dad then texted me to say, "Oh, I'm coming camping to Colmere. If you're moored up nearby, then let's meet up." And what you're seeing here is me travelling through the woodlands and that in the middle of the darkness, or middle of the night, because amazingly, the campsite that they were at was, in the most literal sense, 2 minutes down the road from where the boat was. So you can imagine my surprise when I'm just there, moored up the boat, and then a bit later, maybe, I think it was the same day, maybe the next day at the latest, I got a text saying, "Oh yeah, come into Colmere to camp. If you're nearby, let me know." And I'm like, I'm literally as close as the canal could possibly be. Well, my friends, I'm not sure if you can hear the rain up on the roof. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Got the fire going, and it is throwing out an absolutely incredible amount of heat. Lovely stuff as always. And of course, over the fire we've got a set of clothes in my backpack drying off after a very ill-advised bike ride that I went on earlier on. And I got a fair soaking. Not the worst soaking I've ever had on a bike, but certainly, considering I didn't have any waterproofs or anything whatsoever, it was more rain than I wanted to fall on me, and has led me once again to be in the now famous Where's Wally pyjama bottoms plus rather stylish brown dressing gown. And yeah, this is my current evening plans. I'm just sorting through a few things. There really is something awesome about being on the canal when the wind blows and all the leaves start to come down. Absolutely fantastic. With only a month left before winter mooring starts, I'm currently on a very slow trip up to Llangollen, and I did spend the night the other day at Blakemere, and I was not intending to stop here, but as I was going past, I just thought, I can't possibly not spend one last night here for the year. And when you've got that as literally the view through the kitchen window, well, it's always going to stop me dead in my tracks and make me more up for that sort of view. So we'll cut to this little clip now. This was originally when I was heading down towards the Wixall direction. This was sometime in August, I think, maybe a bit earlier than that even. I just thought, it's a beautiful bit of footage. Let's have a chat while we travel our slow way down the canal. Now that there's only a month before winter mooring starts, I think I'll probably have a nice slow trip up towards Llangollen, probably try and moor up in a lot of different areas like I was doing when I was on the way into Whitchurch, just to really enjoy as much of the canal as I can before it starts to get really cold. And obviously if I start my winter mooring and don't have to move the boat all the time, I normally will probably move between Kirkbank, Chirk and St Martin's, just to liven things up and not get bored of the same old scenery over and over. Plus St Martin's is one of the best places ever for astronomy, as I've said many times in previous videos about that lovely little spot, and I'm sure that if you watch my videos you'll be seeing more of St Martin's in the very near future. So I think that's going to be my plan for the next month and over October. Just enjoy some nice travelling around, like I say, head up over the border into Wales and really just enjoy boating and just sort of, I suppose it's the preparation for winter that I've got to really consider and think about, rather than just going, oh yeah, I might moor up in the absolute middle of nowhere for 2 weeks. I think I've got to go, right, I need to be somewhere that I can get to and from with a bus and with plenty of shopping and a few supplies and obviously a bag of coal or two ready, just in case we do have this terrible winter that people are obsessed with predicting, which I know everybody predicts every single year, and then when it actually happens everybody goes, oh wow, see, told you, the berries are out early, the conkers fell early, the chestnuts or whatever. There's all these superstitions, and as some of you know, I am very superstitious, but even I have to draw the line somewhere at just predicting the same thing over and over until finally it's true. So yeah, it's really just going to be, I think, for the next month, nice calm travelling, not rushing, not huge long distances, no big 12-hour days of travelling, just calm travelling as you see in here at this minimal slow pace. There's not much more that you can ask for as a way to end the year, and then obviously go into winter mooring, and hopefully the canal will start to get quieter and quieter up until the point where you start to go for days on end without seeing a boat move. And the only boat that moves around the area that Tilly's moored up in will be my kayak. And that's what I really love about winter, especially if I moor up somewhere like St Martin's, where it's quite out of the way anyway. And you don't have many people really moor up there because it's not right on a bus route or right next to a town or somewhere useful, basically. So when I can head out on the kayak and just take me time and know that there's no boat's going to suddenly come around the corner, it's beautiful. And that's what I'm looking forward to. One random story I'll throw in about a couple of days ago. Amazingly, I was on one of my normal walks around Ellesmere, just enjoying wandering around the lakes and that before heading into the town to get some shopping supplies, and then walking straight up the canal out to Blakemere where Tilly was moored. And amazingly, while I was in Ellesmere, I had a message pop up on Facebook which was a oil painting of Tilly, and amazingly somebody had done that and wanted to send it out to me, so you'll be seeing that very shortly indeed. And I just thought, wow, that's amazing. I didn't expect that somebody would take the time to sit down and create something that's genuinely a beautiful, wonderful little work of art. But like I say, more on that in an upcoming video in the next couple of weeks. So I was already pretty happy and smiling about that. Then as I was walking back up to Tilly, I was walking past the boat and it seemed quite familiar, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and it didn't have a name. And then suddenly, through the window, I saw somebody waving, and then realised that, amazingly, it was a couple who had been in contact over Facebook, who'd seen the videos and the usual stuff online, and me wittering away like I am right now. And they said they were in the area and we could to meet up if we passed. So had a chat and stopped and talked, and all wonderful stuff. The boat was moored only a few minutes travel from Tilly, so we hopped on and pushed the nose out and then went around the corner, so that was nice to have a fantastic little trip on a huge 66-foot boat. My goodness me, compared to Tilly, it was as if the front end of the boat was in another continent. It was incredible. So yeah, that was quite different and something that I did enjoy. So we moored up behind Tilly and all was fun and games. I hopped off and just stood milling around next to Blakemere, right next to Tilly, where amazingly the person from the boat ahead of where we just moored walks over and goes, "Oh, it is you, Dan." And again, somebody who's recognised me from the internet, in the space of 2 minutes, and literally mooring up side by side, we had this little Tilly trio going on. So I thought that was quite funny, and all the usual handshakes and photos and fun and games and general boaty chat that I certainly am not afraid to take part in. And yeah, I just thought, what are the odds of that? And after especially having the oil painting picture sent to me, I was quite riding high from that bizarre 45 minutes. So I think it's about time that I wrap things up and stopped wittering on. Thank you very much for watching. As always, check out my other videos for almost 200 narrowboat videos, documentaries, short films, general boat life moments, all the sort of stuff that you're familiar with by now if you've been watching. Subscribe, like the Facebook page, and feel free to add me personally on Facebook and Twitter if you want plenty more boaty updates and general pictures from life on the canal. And of course, check out my books for the Kindle, The Narrowboat Lad, The Narrowboat Lad Living the Dream, and The Narrowboat in a Notebook. Until the next time, keep it canal side, keep it boat worthy, and have a fantastic day. Farewell.